Game of Thrones is the pinnacle of television visual effects, which are only getting better and more amazing every year. Joe Bauer, the series visual effects supervisor, tells us about the evolution in this review of the best visual effects in Game of Thrones history.
In season 5, that was the year that Dany would have to climb on Drogon and actually fly out of the Daznak fighting pit. And before she does that, he flies in and roasts a whole bunch of Sons of Harpy. So we had done Drogon breathing fire in season 3 when he was just about 6 feet wingtip to wingtip. And so we elected to use real fire, a real flamethrower, and burn a stuntman on camera, obviously safely, but it was I think a really shocking moment because we hadn't really seen the dragons do much. I think they did altogether they killed one guy in season 2. Get down! Visual effects at this point is almost entirely post-production and almost entirely digital. The trick is when you're shooting a physical model, you know, all the decisions need to be made up front, and you spend quite a lot of time and money building the model. You shoot it, and then there's no real adjusting afterwards. And with the digital models, you know, you can you have the freedom to make decisions or rather adjustments later. You know, and after you've generated the, you know, for example, an explosion, if you want to change it, it's not such a big deal. It's not a go back to zero. We'll call them set extensions, and the term really applies to whether we're extending a practical built set, or a location, you know, a building or a city, or some part of a city if we're extending it into a much larger city, or a landscape. Each year, the request, you know, from Dan and David in the scripts, you know, it grows and it gets more and more exciting and more complicated. Last year it would have been the wall battle and the giants, the mammoth, and you know, just that whole sequence, which I still love. We decided to approach the giants as very large actors dressed in prosthetics and costume, because, you know, for example, Mag was played by Neil Fingleton, who's nearly 8 feet tall. He's the largest man in the UK. It took, you know, 18 days to shoot Hardhome. It was really a big thing. They wore very, very tight green lycra suits, and we knew we'd be shooting this in the rain, so the rain was a huge consideration because it took 5 days just to shoot that fight. The zombie children and just the overwhelming odds against Jon Snow and you know, and the wildlings, with just this wave of you know, dead humanity that hit them, and completely, you know, they were absolutely powerless. So these emotional touchstones, Carsey and, you know, and etc., I think really helped the episode to have a strong impact.
Joe told us that he's now working on the new season 6 in Dublin, Ireland. A year seems like a long time to see the next bump in amazing effects. Until then, tell us what your favorite is in the comments and subscribe for more IO9 videos every week.